What it do. Today we will talk about NoFap. This is like a mini guide of NoFap. So to start off, I want you to realize how wrong it is, right? Sex is just a natural act, and you are watching a natural act on your phone and being very violent with your body, because that's really what it is. That's why they have performed multiple studies, and it shows that, especially when you're getting in contact when you're younger, and that's 9 out of 10 times that's the case, right? Because you will see it on social media. It's even being pushed, right? How many times have you seen memes about fapping and it was just normalized, and y'all were laughing about it? I'm guilty of that too. I've seen way too much fapping memes when I was like, yeah, this relatable. But it's actually very wrong. You're not supposed to do that. And what it does with your brain, it rewires your brain. Because not only are you watching a natural act through your phone, you're also watching it, a fake natural act, basically, in a sense that that has nothing to do with sex. To be honest, like, that has nothing to do with sex. It's just two people getting paid to do some shit, and now they are doing crazy shit. And what I've really realized is it desensitizes you in a way that you will view women as different through a lens. Like, you will never realize the beauty of a woman because you're viewing you automatically, and you don't do that consciously, but you will relate women to your phone, and you will not. I don't know really how to put it, because it will probably get misunderstood, but it's basically all about, you won't really realize their natural beauty, because the first time when you really got in contact with a woman, it was through a phone. Because 9 out of 10 dudes started fapping before they started having sex, right? And that's just very wrong. You will look at women different, and it will also make you be less successful with women, because now you're viewing them through a weird lens, and women will always feel that inauthenticity, right? They will always feel, if you are approaching a woman with the thought like, yeah, this is a person that I can have sex with, bro, she will feel that. She will be like, who the fuck is this creep? And that's why a lot of dudes are not successful with women when they approach a woman, because, and I was guilty of that too, right? You just automatically, if you were like, yeah, phone number, maybe sex, bro, like, and it's sad, right? It really is sad. It really is sad. And this is not to make you feel guilty of it, because I've been there, and NoFap is your only way out of that mindset. NoFap is only out of that mindset. But before we get into that, right, into the NoFap, I want to make you realize that it also decreases your testosterone, and a low testosterone will, just put it like this, it will fuck you up. It will. There is no, and nowadays it's being pushed, right? Because now, if you're talking about testosterone and how testosterone levels are dropping, now they toxic masculinity. Bro, there are no benefits of having low testosterone as a man. And fapping will really do that for you. And I don't even think it's necessarily about because you're losing your semen. I think it's more about mentally, because it will fuck up your mindset. It will also make you less social, and that's just that. And now we will automatically come into why we fap. And that answer, nobody really want to hear that answer, but it is actually trauma. It is actually trauma, because what you need to understand, like I've already said plenty times before, trauma is an unprocessed wound, and it causes pain within you. It might not be conscious, but we will do everything in our power to not be reminded out of that pain. And that's where addictions come into play. And this is something that I'm really passionate about. Is it's not about eating too much, it's not about the fapping, it's not about whatever you're doing, it's not about the smoking, the drinking, it's about the pain that you're escaping, that makes you feel like, okay, I can't handle this pain, I need to escape. And that's where those things come into play. So you need to really understand that it's not about the fapping. And if you just will focus on the fapping, you will never succeed on no fap. Like, never. Because that's not the source. And now you will try to solve a problem by focusing on the symptoms, and that just won't work. And this is automatically basically a guide how to solve all your addictions. But I think that fapping is the most prevalent, the most taboo-ish problem that we as young men face. And also, this is actually the one that a lot of people are ignorant about, because everybody knows that smoking is not good. Everybody knows that drinking is not good. But yet there are still a lot of people talking about, yeah, fapping is actually good. It's not. It's not good, bro. There is no benefit to it. There is really no benefit to it. And I think the people who are pushing the benefits of fapping are the same people that will benefit from you having a low testosterone, because low testosterone is also the reason why you're not doing what you want to do. Because a man with a healthy testosterone level won't really be procrastinating in life, won't really distract himself. Of course, you will still feel like a certain fear to do certain things, but now you will just see it as a challenge. So just be very aware of that. And that's why to get back on the source of fapping, which is trauma. I'm gonna give you an example of mine, right? So I think I was like 17, and I came across NoFap, and that's why a lot of people are still talking about NoFap very wrong and very, but they're not aware of it. But okay, so I stopped NoFapping, and people were just saying like, yeah, everything will become better. And it's actually true, but it's only if you get to the source. It's only if you're gonna treat the problems that make you fap. It's not about stopping really the fapping. But the thing with addictions is when we're escaping, we're not aware of the pain. And that's the whole cause. That's the whole reason, of course, why we escape, to not be aware of the pain. But when you're fapping, you won't actually know why you fap. And that's why stopping with fapping, I wouldn't even say stopping with fapping, but stopping the most addictive thing in your life will teach you a lot about you. Because now you stop distracting yourself from the pain that you're feeling, and now the pain and the cause and the root of the pain will come above and will show you like, yo, this is actually a whole wound that you've got, but you keep fapping, and you need to start healing. And that's what will happen when you stop your addictions. And that's why you really need to stop. And I don't even want to get into all the addictions, but I actually believe that fapping is the most addictive thing for us as young men. You need to stop fapping and then you will see your problems, and that's what will determine if you will be successful or not. Because I got another example of I stopped fapping, and all of a sudden a lot of thoughts, a lot of problems came above. And where I went wrong is I started escaping those problems, and that made me, I think it made me, during the time I was still like kind of on self-improvement, but because I was escaping, I think I've wasted a lot of time, and I could have been where I'm at right now a year ago, a year and a half ago. That really would have been possible if I didn't escape. But I escaped. I started talking with girls, things like that, just to not be reminded of the pain. And that just caused me, because when you're starting your healing phase, you really need to not distract yourself from the pain. And this, of course, is like a duh, but what I mean by that is the pain will become stronger in a sense that when you're aware of it, it will actually frighten you. And you will be like, damn, there's no way out of this. And and at that time, I didn't even know that it was trauma. And that's another thing that's really important, which won't allow you to heal. If you don't know what you're dealing with, you will just be very afraid of it. Now I'm actually not afraid of it, because now I'm thinking like, this is just how my brain wired himself because of childhood abuse, things like that, right? So now I'm not afraid of it. So now you can start addressing it. But yeah, the only way is through not escaping once you've stopped fapping, or once you stop doing the thing that you're most addicted to. And that will be hard. But the best thing you can do is educate yourself on the topic. So once you realize, okay, I'm actually dealing with trauma, you need to educate yourself on the topic. And educating will allow you to see things as, okay, you will start to know like actually basically like the science of it, but that's not everything. You need to start writing about it in a way that will make you able to close the story, because that's also like another important thing to point out. Trauma is basically a story that never has received an end, and that's why we are still escaping it, because our psyche still thinks that it's still going on. It's still causing pain, but it doesn't have to be like that. And the only way you can do that is through journaling through yourself about the experiences, and find ways how you can make the story end, because we need to start battling it with a kind of sense of rationality mixed with feelings. And I mean that in a way like, once you're able to put on paper like, okay, I'm doing this and this. For instance, I got social anxiety because of just a random example. My mom was always hitting me, so I started bonding in like fearful ways with people. And now you need to actually allow yourself to feel the feelings that you have never processed. Because once you're able to do that, your body is basically like, okay, now we can actually heal. Because you've never really allowed yourself to feel the feelings as a child, when you're continuously escaping it and still reliving it. It's still going on. So you can never really look back and be like, okay, I actually was a victim of it. And victimhood is never good. But this is not victimhood. This is just actually you realizing, okay, this happened in my life and it actually had a huge effect on me and I need to deal with that. And even for myself, I actually noticed that it's actually hard for me to talk about it myself in a way that this is also something that a lot of people don't want to hear. And I got my own thoughts about it, and I will definitely share those on my YouTube channel. But it's actually, I do definitely believe that that society thrives upon people that are too afraid to fully express themselves. Because once you've dealt with trauma, bro, nothing will hold you back. You will start that business. You will do whatever you want to do. And I really trying to make you feel this. And that's why it's so important to talk about this topic, which is in a lot of people a boring topic. And it's a topic that, but for instance, how I grew up, it's something we don't talk about. That it's like, nah, you're not supposed to be soft, man. That's gay. You're not supposed to talk about feelings. That's how you will become unsuccessful. Because you're not supposed to be like some crying dude, but you always need to be in tune with your feelings. And that's not that you will talk about everything. Yo, right now I'm very insecure. I'm very anxious, and I'm very. And I'm maybe crying. No, it's not about it. It's actually you feeling it for yourself so that you can actually process it. Because that's why people are fearful, because they have never looked into the eyes of fear. So they're just escaping fear, which causes them to create more fear. And like you notice, I'm going on a rant, but trauma is holding you back from realizing your true potential. And the best way to realize what kind of trauma you're dealing with and what you're dealing with is through stopping your addictions, which is in 9 out of 10 times the case fapping, right? Which is 10 times, 9 out of 10 times the case, right? Fapping. So once you start actually processing, okay, I've dealt with this, and you actually start visualizing how it affected you, and you actually feel the feelings that you have felt during that time, maybe even let some tears out, and that will just, you will really feel light. And that's why a lot of people, it's all in our vocabulary, right? How many times did you hear like, yeah, it's off my chest? And that's what will happen once you've dealt with trauma. And once it's off your chest, you won't be the same fearful dude. You will start taking healthy risks. You will start doing and living your life. And that takes time. I'm still not there, but I'm already in a position where I know how you can actually start the healing process, which is through stopping the addictions, no fap, journal about it, do your research about it, feel the feelings, and gradually heal through that. So that was my video for today, and it started off with like very no fap base, and we've gotten all back to trauma. But just know that is the cause of your problems. And once you really realize that dynamic, that we will do everything to escape pain, you will never look the same at your addictions, and you won't worry about your addictions. And it will also make you very empathetic for a lot of people, because you will actually see reasons why people are like that. Because when I was younger, and you can call this fat shaming, however you want to call it, it may be actually be that, but it may actually be that, but I was never fat. So when I seen a fat dude, it was like I never could understand. I'm like, why the fuck are you so fat? But now I understand it, bro. We will do everything in our power to not be reminded of the pain. And if that's eating, you will eat your whole house empty if that makes you not feel pain. So that just makes me realize, like, there's real reasons why people are how they are. And that's, bro, you need to realize that trauma is the only thing holding you back. You won't care about people because you will see things for what they are. And there will be a lot of things coming about trauma. And it's just me sharing my knowledge with the people that can benefit from it, right? Because I feel like I've learned something about trauma. There are people that still dealing with the same problems that I've dealt with a year ago, 2 years ago, and I'm just now able to help those people. That's really what I want to do. And we will talk about a lot of things, right? Because I'm not somebody who will just all talk about trauma, because I only think like trauma is holding you back. So once it's resolved, I don't really want to talk about trauma anymore. Then I will really focus on the things that I really like, my interests, and building things, creating things, building businesses, traveling, things like that. So, but first we need to get through that part, and this is how you can start the healing process. And if you think this video was helpful, be sure to leave a comment. Let me know what you think about it. If you want to see more content about, I would actually say everything which is related to you escaping the matrix and start living your life, I would say drop me a subscribe, right? But you can determine that for yourself. You might be like, who the fuck is this dude? That's okay. But yeah, that was basically my video. I'm out. Yo.